this computer. Okay, cool. So on Tuesday, we made some adjustments to the BP door. The first thing we did was we created this toggle doorknob material. And what we're doing is we created a function, and inside that function, we're checking to see, do we want to reset the door's material, I'm sorry, the doorknob's material back to the original material. If we do, then the flow runs this way, right? And we get to this guy, and then we just reset it back to the basic shape material, the doorknob. If we don't, we do not want to reset the material, then we say no. And then we check to see if the cube is placed. And we're going to adjust this today with the game instance. Anyway, is the cube placed on the platform? If it is, then we give that green material. And if it is not, then we give the red material. So that's what this is right here, this toggle doormat. And originally we had this is cube is placed. I believe we actually had it on this leaving area collision. I believe we had it originally right there. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I could be wrong. But anyway, now it's on the doorknob. I'm sorry, now, no, it's not on the doorknob. This is set doorknob material. That's this guy. It is on the player collision, which we renamed. It was originally leaving area collision. Anyway, so now it's, we set the doorknob material, and then now we're checking to see, again, we're checking to see, hey, does he have the companion cube? Is it placed? And if so, then we set the text like we were doing before. But you notice now that connection to the play is not there anymore. And the reason being is because we're doing it on a use button. So we create this custom event for using the door. And you'll see now the do once is in front of everything. And then, of course, the same logic of rotating the door. We've also added rotating the door hinge. I'm sorry, rotating the, this is rotating the door knob, and then this is rotating the door hinge. And the way that we're doing it is sort of the same. We're rotating the door knob on the x-axis. We're rotating the door hinge on the z-axis, but the logic is very much similar. I think that was the big changes we did to door knob into door. On platform, we created, let's see, what did we do? We created a custom material, and then we added that custom material right here. Yeah. So here we have that same material, but now we're using it on the platform. So we have green and red, green being, yes, you place it, and red being no, the companion cube is not placed. And then we also created our first particle system. We really did not get into particle systems, but we did create a particle system, and we created a particle emitter. And then we're using that particle system right here as a component into our platform. And we're firing that particle system off when they step on the platform, and they do have the companion cube. And then of course we're running that function that's inside door, this function right here, via our platform, because we have a reference of the door. And then when the player steps off of the platform, then we just basically reset everything. So reset the color, reset the helper text, reset the material back to the beginning, deactivate the fountain if we need to, and then also reset the doors material as well. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but it was a lot of things we did. An hour and a half of stuff we created. So then we ran into our first major bug, which is this guy right here, where we are right now. What we have to do is we're going into like 3 or 4 different places where we're checking to see, does the player have the companion cube? We're doing it right here on the platform, and we're resetting it and turning it off and on for testing. And we're also doing it in the door, and it was like inside this function, it's just too much. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a game instance. And what a game instance is like a save state. So let me write that down. It's like a save state for the current game. And the nice thing about that is that when I change levels and stuff like that, I can retain all the information. So if I have like a really cool sword and I get it in level 1, if I didn't have game instance and I go to level 2, I would not have that cool sword anymore. But if I did save the sword to my game instance, then I could have that sword in level 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Also, game instances translates well into save and load states, right? Which is where you play Skyrim and then you hit escape, you go to the save menu, you save your game. What they're doing is they're taking a snapshot of that game instance and saving it as a save state. And then later, when you come back to the game, you load your game up, right? You're just loading up that snapshot of the game instance. Make sense? Questions? All right, so game instance is pretty easy. If you haven't created a game instance already, all you need to do is right click into the core folder. So content, core, right click, blueprint class. And then under here where it says all classes, you click on that. In the search box, you'll type game instance. And then you'll select game instance, this one here, game instance. Just select it. And when you do, it'll create this guy and you'll just name it my game instance. So with that game instance created, we'll go ahead and double click and open it up. You'll probably get this sort of blueprint style. All you have to do is click right here, open full blueprint editor, this one right here. So we'll click that. And then look, it looks just like a regular blueprint. We just need one variable. So we're going to go right here to my blueprints, variables. One variable is companion cube placed. Compile and save. Now we need to say, use this game instance for our game from now on, and don't use whatever it is set to now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our project settings. So if you don't have project settings set up here, I'll show you how to do that. You're going to go to edit in your main editor. You're going to go to edit, project settings, right there, project settings. You click on that guy. And you want to go to, I believe it's maps and modes. Yes, maps and modes. And right here under default modes, selected game mode. If you expand that out, you can see, oh, no, sorry, it's all at the bottom. It's right here, game instance, my bad. It's all at the bottom. So default modes, blah, 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 game instance, this one right here. You can see it's set to just a standard game instance. We'll go ahead and click on that guy right there. And we're going to change it right here to my game instance, that one, my game instance. Because that's the one we're using, right? We're going to use that guy. And it has the variable that we need. All right, so hopefully we got that set. Now we can go into platform and we can get rid of, let's see, find references. Where do we have this at? Ah, right here. So we can get rid of this guy. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I am also going to get rid of this one. And that is going to be right here, our player collision. We're checking to see, is the collision player. And then we have right here where we're saying, is the cube placed, right? So we need that game instance in order to figure that out. So we can do this. We can right click. We can do get game instance. We can do it like this. But when we expand out, we say, is companion cube placed, right? It's not finding it. If we even type cube, it doesn't find anything, right? This is because it's just getting us a generic game instance. It's getting us like the game instance itself. So this isn't going to work exactly what we want, we actually have to get it on begin play. So as soon as the game starts, we're already getting a first person character here, and we're getting only one door, which is not always ideal, but why can't I grab this? Okay, fine. Can't grab that. Doesn't matter. So we're gonna right here, we're gonna drag out from this execution pin. And by the way, again, I'm at begin play, all the flow here, and coming out of this guy, and I'm gonna do, let's see, game instance. Yes. So we're gonna do cast to my game instance. Now you'll notice there's like 3 different instances here, 3 different game instances. The one we want is the one we created. Cast to my game instance, this one right there. So we'll click on that. And what this is saying is I'm going to try my best to replicate or make whatever object you're going to push into me. So this pin right here, whatever you push into me, I'm going to try my best to make it the game instance that you created. So now we can use that my game instance. So we'll right click again. We'll say get game instance. This one right here. And now we can plug it into this. And so we're getting the generic game instance, and then we're casting it to the one that we created. And now we can save this as a variable. So we'll say promote to variable. We'll say my game instance. Compile and save that. And then we can go back to where we have this isCubePlace logic. We can grab the my game instance, and we can drag out from there. We can say isCubePlace, and now we're getting it. Now it's there. So we can connect that up like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C both of these nodes, Control C, and then I'm going to go over here and actually I won't need this anymore. I can actually get rid of that. I'm just going to go straight like this. And let's see what else. That all looks good. Let's check anywhere else. Do we need it anywhere else? I don't think so. All right. That all looks okay. All right, so we'll compile and save. Now we need to go to the door. So we're going to the door. And we have this isCube is placed on the door, right? So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of the variable isCube is placed. Oh, there's places where it's at. So let's see, find references. isCube placed. So here's another location for it. So let's get rid of that one as well. And now we can get rid of the, no, it's still finding some. Let's see where else it's finding it. Oh, no results. Okay, delete, go away. Yes, that's fine. All right, so we need to do the same thing inside the door. So let's see, do we have an event begin play? Yes, we do. So event begin play, drag out from the last node. We are looking for cast to my game instance. This one right here. Where did you find the game instance again? Right here. So if you drag out from your execution pin, you type in game instance. This is what you're looking for? Or are you talking about making a game instance? Are you talking about making this to create it? Okay, no problem. So what you do is you right click in your, you can do it in any folder, but it's best to do it in the core folder. You'll right click blueprints, because we're making a blueprint. And then it's not in the common classes, it's in the all classes. So in the all classes, you'll have that search bar, you'll type in game instance, and then there it is, game instance, this one right here, and you'll hit select. When it's selected, it'll create it for you. So I'll do it again. So you can see here it's created, and we'll call it my awesome game instance is cool. And there it is. All right, I'm going to remove that because we're not using that one. All right, back to the door. So with cast to my game instance, we need to connect an object to it. And so that's going to be get game instance. We're just getting the generic game instance. We're connecting it to our object for our casting. And then, oops, we are going to promote this as my game instance. We're going to promote that to variable. We're going to call this my game instance, just like we did in the platform. Compile and save. And now, where we have these branches, we're checking to see is a companion cube placed. We can get the game instance. We can get is cube placed. Connect it like so, copy and paste. It was somewhere else, and I'm not sure where else it was. Oh, in toggle doorknob. Yes, here it is, right here. So is companion cube placed? Connect that guy up like so. And where else was it? I feel like it was somewhere else. I'm not sure where else it was. Here maybe. Blah blah. Nope. Nope. Okay, maybe it's just those two places. So once in the event graph right here, and then the other time was in the toggle doorknob material right here. Those two places. So now we can go into the game instance where we created the variable called is companion cube placed, and we can test it again. So right now it's not checked. Let's leave it not checked and let's see if it works. We'll hit play. Step on the cube, or sorry, the platform, and I'm getting the red. So it seems like everything is working. Let me go and back into the game instance and we'll make it true. Hit play again. And when I do, I am getting the green like I should, which is outstanding. Uh-oh. Aha, so there is a problem. And if I go to my message log, you can see right here, I'm getting an error. Attempted to access property none in first person character. Oh, okay, so let's go to first person character and take a look at where that is. Ah, right here. Right here. We're checking the cube. So we need to do it in first person character as well. Let's see. Yep, we need to do it right here. So to do that, we'll go into first person character. We need to go to event begin place. We'll go begin play. And here it is right here. And to be honest, we don't need any of that. We can just get rid of all of this. We don't need any of that. We're not doing VR. We just need this event begin play. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just need this guy. So drag out from there, and we're going to do cast to my game instance. We're going to connect the kit game instance to the object. We're going to promote this to a variable. We're going to call that variable my game instance. And then we're going to go to where we're checking the cube, and we'll paste like that. File and save. Actually, that's probably a different way than you guys are used to. I'm going to drag out from the game instance here. Drag out from here is companion cube place. Yes, yes. Connect, compile, save. Now we can go back and test it. Yay. And it works. Cool. So basically, anywhere in our logic where we were checking to see is the cube is placed, we're using the game instance now to check that. So go ahead and save everything if you haven't already, and actually make sure that in my game instance that it is set to false. The false. Save. Okay, everything's saved. We're good. Dismiss this error because we're not getting that anymore. All right. So now, let's see. What are our notes here? We need a little bit of review, game instance. Oh, we need the companion cube. Let's build our companion cube. So we need a new blueprint. So go to Content, Core, and inside the Core folder, right-click and click on Blueprint Class. We're going to click on Actor, and we're going to name this BP underscore companion cube. And open this guy up. So new blueprint. I hate this sphere. It's kind of like just a way for us to know where root is, but we don't need that. So under components, we're going to type in scene. We're going to rename that scene to root. We're going to drag root onto default root to get rid of the sphere. We've done that a bunch of times. Should be pretty easy now. Okay, so what do we need? We need a mesh. So we're going to do static mesh. This one right here, static mesh. And this is going to be the companion cube. And under meshes, we got all sorts of cubes here. I think there's a chamfered cube, so we could do like that, chamfered. You could do a sphere if you want. Doesn't matter. You could do the cone. I'll do the chamfered one. It's fine by me. We'll compile and save. And then we need to, if I remember correctly, we need to simulate physics. Yes. Okay, so next we need to click on the cube, details, right here under the physics category, simulate physics. We're going to turn that on. And then we are going to lock some constraints. And what this does is when we use physics, so what physics does is it allows us to move it in the world, allows us to do things with the object in the world. But we're going to lock the some of the constraints on it so that when we pick it up, it doesn't act all wild. And actually, when we set up the logic to pick it up, we'll take off the constraints so you can see how it acts. It'll be funny. Anyways, locking constraints, we're going to lock the X and we're going to lock the Z. And then for rotation, we're going to lock all of them. We don't want it to rotate at all. And then let's see, let me make sure I missed anything. It should be physics actor right here. That's correct. Rendering is good. Just checking my notes here. Okay, so that's it. That should be the companion cube. We might need to make a variable. I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I have to think about this. When I place the companion cube down, so actually let me grab the companion cube. We're going to put it right on top of the platform, just like this. And I'm actually going to move my player like so we can watch it fall. And actually, I think it'll do nothing. Yeah, it does none of the things. Why is it not falling? Should be falling. What did I do wrong here? Yes, generate overlaps. It's movable. Oh, I locked the Z position. So unlock for now. Unlock the lock positions. So unlock all of those for now. Well, that's fine. We will come back to this. It'll be funny when we pick it up and it's acting all crazy. Hit play, and now it should fall. There we go. Okay, so it is falling. That's cool. Hit play again. You can see it's falling. So now what we need to do is we need to say, okay, it has hit this this collision right here, right? This inner collision. And when it hits that inner collision, set it as true. So what we need to do now is we need to go back to the platform. So let's go to the platform, and we need our companion cube collision. Here it is. And with the companion cube collision, let's see, we need to go all the way down to the details panel, and we need to go to on begin overlap. And we need to check to see, is it the companion cube? So what we're going to do is we're going to go, let's see, what do we want to do? Actually, we'll go to begin play. We'll go to event begin play, and we'll drag out from our flow here. So we have all this flow, finding the door, finding the game instance. And now we're going to do one more. We're going to do get actor of class. Get actor of class. And what we need is the companion cube. So it's going to be BP companion cube. And then from there, we're going to promote that to variable. We're going to call this BP companion cube, like so. Okay, so now with the companion cube, we are going to drag that out right here where we have our begin overlap on the companion cube collision. So right here where it says other actor, we're going to drag that out, and we're going to do equals equals. I want to type in equal equal. You can see I have this equals an object. What object are you looking for? And of course, we're looking for the companion cube. All right, sorry. So other actor equal equals. And then we have this guy, and then of course we connect that guy like that. Hold down the letter B, left click to make a branch. And then we connect up the red to the red and connect up our flow from our white to our white, like so. And now we should be able to see when the companion cube enters that collision. And if so we're gonna do this, we're gonna do print string. And we're just gonna leave it at hello. So compile and save. And so now when the cube falls into that collision, we should get a message that says hello. See? Perfect. Do it again. So now we don't necessarily want it to say hello. We want to set it to say, yep, the cube is there. Congratulations. So now what we need is game instance. And with our game instance, we're going to do is companion cube placed. But this time we're going to click on the setter because we're setting the value now. And we're going to say, if this is true, then we're going to say, yes, the cube has been placed. So now when that cube falls down, we should get the, actually we shouldn't get anything, nothing. But now when I walk up to it, it should be green. It is, see, because we placed the cube, we're changing the variable, the Boolean value to true whenever the cube falls into it. All right, so that's good. And what we could do too is we can do one more test. What we'll do is we'll take this companion cube, we're just gonna move it out of the way, and we'll watch it fall, and you can see that, right, it's not setting it. It only sets it whenever it falls into the place. So the cube is set. Let's do one more thing for this companion cube, and this is going to be checks to see if the cube is in the cube collision, and if so, sets my game instance is cube placed to true, right? So that's good, but we want to, what happens if the player decides they want to take the cube out? So we'll click on companion cube collision again, go to the details, go to the end overlap. We will actually grab all of this, copy and paste, and I don't need the purple anymore, so let's get rid of that. And we'll connect up our flow, connect this guy, other actor, it's other actor. And so this is if the player picks up the cube, takes it off of the platform, then we're going to uncheck it and say, nope, the cube is no longer placed anymore. They moved it. They took the cube out. Because the player can do that in Portal, right? So we can do the same thing in our game. Okay. So that's it for the companion cube. And now let's go back to, we need to go back to our character. And we need to do some crazy code. What time is it? 7:13. We should be okay with creating this code. All right, anyone lost? Raise your hand if you're lost. All right, everyone put their hand down. Why is everybody's hands up? That's not cool, guys. Put your hands down. If you have a question, let me know. If you guys are good, then give me a thumbs up and we'll keep going. Evelyn with a thumbs up, Alicia with a thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right, I thought I was going a little fast, so I'm glad that everyone's caught up. All right, so let's go to first person character. And inside first person character, we'll go kind of at the bottom here. What we want is, let's see, what do we want to do? We want to, let's just write some pseudocode. So we're gonna write some comments. What we want to do is we want to, when the player presses and holds right mouse, then we check to see if they're close enough to the companion cube. Let's see. So let's see. Actually, this is actually too much. Let's see. Player presses and holds the right mouse. And then when they do that, we check to see if they're close enough to the companion cube. If they are close enough to the companion cube, if true, then pick up the cube. If false, do nothing. And then if they pick up the cube and they're holding the right mouse, then then we can move the cube around the scene. And if the player lets go of right mouse, then the cube is dropped, right? Something like that. So that's kind of how our flow would be, like bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, so let's see. First thing we need to do is we need to do the right mouse thing. So we'll do right click here, we'll do right mouse. So we have this inputs and mouse events, right mouse button. It looks very similar to the use button that we created. Then we need a branch. And in this branch, we're going to say, we'll promote this to variable. And the condition will be, is the player grabbing the cube? So we'll connect up our press. And if they're grabbing the cube, then we're gonna do something. And if they are not grabbing the cube, for now I'll do nothing. Okay. So I'm going to go to the viewport tab. And what we want to do is we want to give the illusion. And if you didn't know, for you game developers, being an illusionist is paramount to being a game developer. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the illusion that the player is grabbing the object. And we want to put it in front of this camera so that it looks like the player's holding it. So in order for us to do that, we need to have some sort of object in the space here that says, yep, this is where we're going to place it. So what we need is we're going to do scene. I'm sorry, we're going to do component, and then we're going to do scene. Let's go right here, and we're going to name this to grab handle. And this grab handle is going to be a child of our camera, like so. Child of the camera. Now you can see where it has placed the scene. You can see here's my transform, right? This is not going to be a good spot for the camera because it's below it. So if I place the cube right there, the camera really won't see it. So we actually need to move this transform somewhere up like this and kind of in front of the camera like this. And now the cube will dangle right here just below this transform. And that's kind of what we want. And we can adjust it after we pick up the cube and see if that's good. But that's kind of where we're going to place it. So we're saying, hey, this is where that cube is going to be dropped off. The next thing we need is actually a physics handle. So if we go back to components, we do physics handle, this one right here. And we can just, and you notice it doesn't get added to this section. It gets added to this bottom section, but that's because it's a component. So we just add it like that. We'll leave it named physics handle. That's fine. And we're going to need that because we're picking up a physics object. All right, so let's go back to our event graph. Some of this is kind of a little bit advanced, but that's okay. We're going to create a custom event. So let's do this custom event. Custom event. We're going to name this grab companion cube. Oh man, my spelling and capitalization is way off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to check the distance. Remember, so we have this check the distance. So we're going to do that. So in order to do that, we're going to grab our camera. So I'm grabbing the first person camera, and I'm going to get the camera's position in the world. So I'm going to do get world location. And I'm going to say, this is where the player is. This is where the player is. But I also want to know which direction the player is facing. What is he looking at? So I need his, what we call forward vector. So get forward vector. And so what this is doing is saying, hey, this is the way that the player is facing. right? So if we look at this, this guy right here, right? Our camera. So the way he's facing is this blue arrow right here, right? And I can rotate it. So that's his forward vector. And then his location is where the camera is, right? That's what we're saying, or she. I'm not trying to do any gender stuff here. Okay, so let's go back to our first person character here. So we're getting the position and we're getting his current like rotation, his forward vector, the way he's positioned. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to draw out this imaginary laser beam. So it's going to be this like laser beam that comes out, and it's called a line trace. And that imaginary beam is going to go so far, whatever distance we say, and it's going to check, is a cube inside that laser beam? Because if the cube is, then yes, then this is true. You know, we're checking to see if it's close enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag out from this get forward vector, and we're going to do a times. So that's multiply, and we're going to do times vector times float. And we're going to put in, for now, we'll put in 500. It's like 500 centimeters out in world space in front of the player. That's why it's called the forward vector, right? And then we need a line trace. So we're going to go from this grab companion cube. We're going to come out of the execution pin, and we're going to type in a line trace. And the one we want is for objects, because we're looking for physics objects, right? We're looking for that companion cube. So line trace for objects. And you can see that it has a start position and it has an end position. This is our laser beam that we're creating, or our line trace we're creating. So our start position is where the camera is, right? It's where the camera is going to be. And then our end position is going to be where the camera is, plus, so we're going to do vector plus vector, this additional 500 centimeters in front of us. Make sense? And then we have this array of objects. So it's like, what object do you want me to find? So we'll drag out from that, and we're going to say, did I promote this variable? I don't remember promoting this variable. Make array? Did I do make array? And then connect this guy? Yeah. Okay, that's right. So what you're going to do is right click, and you type in make array. This one right there, make array. And then you're going to take this array pin and connect it into our object types. And then you get the ability for your first entity inside the array to decide what do you want it to be. And we want it to be physics body, because our companion cube is and I'm on the companion cube now if you didn't know, but here it is, physics actor, right? So that's what we're looking for, is physics body. For now, we'll, or you know what? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're not firing that off. We will fire that off in just a second. Actually, what we'll do now is we'll say, draw debug, accuracy and or, we don't care about that. Trace complexity, we don't care about that. But this draw debug type, what we're going to do is we're going to say persistent. And what that does is it's going to draw the laser beam for us so we can visually see this laser beam, this line trace. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to event tick. So I'm going to right click anywhere in our blueprint here, and we'll do event tick. And what event ticks is it fires every single frame. So if you think about a game that you play and it's 60 frames per second, well, that event tick fires every single frame. So that's 60 times every single second. So event tick is very expensive. You want to do your best to not have as much things on event tick as possible. But what we're going to do is we are going to we are going to fire off. Oh, actually, we don't need to do that. We can do this grab actor. That's actually even better. So hold off. We don't need the event tick just yet. We will, but we don't need it just yet. So what we're going to do now is actually we're going to do this grab companion cube on the right mouse. So when I press the right mouse, oh, we don't need this either yet. Okay, let's see. We'll disconnect this guy. We're going to need this in a second. We're going to need that in a second. I just want to show you the line trace stuff. So if I press the right mouse, I'm just going to do grab companion. I'm doing this event right here, grab companion cube, this one. So basically, if I hold down right mouse, I want to draw that line trace. This is just for demonstration so you guys can see it. Hopefully I'm not confusing you too much. So here is the, nothing yet. And then if I hold down right mouse, you can see that I'm drawing all these lines. Oh, I have to press right mouse, it's press. So when I press right mouse, I'm drawing those lines. And then, we haven't set up the companion cube. Oh, yeah, we have. So you can see I'm getting the green lines now. Why am I getting the green lines? It's because the laser beam is shooting through the cube and it's finding it. It's finding that one. But everything else, it doesn't care about. And you'll notice too that the laser beam is not that crazy long. Let me go over here and I'll draw a laser beam over here. And you can see it's not that long, right? It's because it's finding the position of the camera and then it's finding the position of the camera plus 500 in front of the player. That's what that forward vector is, okay? So you will, if you're a programmer, you're going to use this line trace stuff all the time. This is really, really nice, not too expensive when it comes to performance. Anyway, so that's good. We found it. We're finding the companion cube. That is great. Okay, so for now, I'm going to remove that. We'll go back and we'll reconnect this guy up. And then we'll go into this. And now what do we need? Let's finish this block up, this grab and companion cube. So we are finding the companion cube. Then what? Then what do we need to do? So we're going to drag out from this hit structure, this blue pin, out hit. And we're going to say break the hit result. And when we do, we get a billion things here. And what we're looking for is the location of the companion cube. So it's going to be this guy location. And well, we also need a physics actor. Okay, that's fine. So this will be, what do we need to do? We need to get the physics handle. So I'm going to grab the physics handle. And then I'm going to do grab component at location. Grab component at location. And then we're going to connect location up to this grab location. And the component right here where it says component is going to be our hit component. This one, hit component, like that. And then I'm going to connect up my flow like so. And we are going to take this is player grabbing the cube. We're going to grab that guy and we're going to do a setter. And we're going to say, yes, the player is now grabbing the cube because, right, we got the cube. It's true. And oh, no, we didn't do the true part. We need to do the true part. Okay, so actually right here with this return value, we need to do a branch and connect it like so, and then connect the true. So there we go. So now only if we find the companion cube, if that's true, then get the companion cube and get its location and place it in the physics handle so that we can set it onto the grab handle right here, our component, our grab handle. So we can set it right here. So we're going to go get it and like slide it into here. We haven't done that yet, but we're going to set up that logic next. Okay, so now let's do the release. So we grab in the companion cube. We'll need this event tick in a second, but now we need to release a companion cube. So we're gonna do custom event, and it's going to be release companion cube. And what we need is our physics handle. And we're just going to say release component. And this is just going to let go of whatever we grabbed. And in our case, we're grabbing the companion cube. Then we're going to say, is the player grabbing the cube? We're going to say no. So we're going to grab a setter for that. We're going to say no. And we are going to, oh, I need to bind a variable to physics actor. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to our grab component. This guy right here, where we have hit component, we're going to drag that out, and we're going to say promote to variable. And it's set to hit component. I don't want it to be that. I want it to be physics actor. Or actually, a better variable would be the companion cube. It's the companion cube. Yay. So then I'll do this, and that looks good. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to hit the companion cube, and we need to reset its collision. And to do that, we'll drag out from here and we'll do set collision by type, I think, no, by channel. Set collision response to channel, this one right here. We'll connect this guy like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to say channel is going to be pawn, and the new response is going to be block, like that. And physics in the Unreal Engines can sometimes be wonky. And so what we typically want to do is to like do some cover our booties to make sure that if something wonky happens, that it just resets itself back to its normal state, just in case the player, for whatever reason, like blows up the whole game, the cube will go back to this regular state. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag out from this companion cube, and we're gonna do set all physics linear velocity, set all physics linear velocity. And we're just resetting it all back to 0, 0, 0. And then we're gonna have a slight delay. So we'll drag it from here and we'll do delay. And we can leave it at 0.2, that's fine. Then we're gonna grab the companion cube again, and we're gonna set the angular dampening, set angular dampening, this guy right here, and we're just gonna leave it at 0. Cool. So this just, these nodes sort of force the object to behave when the object is released from the player. In this case, the object is our companion cube. When the companion cube is released from the player. All right, so that looks good. Now what do we need? We need our event tick. Okay, so the event tick, let's grab that guy. And in our event tick, we're going to do, is it physics handle? It is physics handle. So we're gonna grab our physics handle, and in our physics handle, we're gonna do set target location. This one, target location. And that target location is going to be our grab handle. So if you remember up here, we are setting the companion cube to the grab components location, which is our physics handle. So we're setting the companion cube. You're going to be in the same location as wherever the physics handle is. So what we're going to do is we're going to say every single frame, set the physics handle's location to the grab handle. So I'm going to do grab handle. I'm going to do get world location of that grab, not scale. Oh my gosh. Get world location of the grab handle. And I'm going to say the physics handle's new location is the grab handle, every single frame. Now we can go to our right mouse. Is the player grabbing the cube? If they are grabbing the cube, then we can release the companion cube because they're holding it. If they are not holding the companion cube, then we can grab, what is it? Grab companion cube, like so. So this isn't really a grab and hold. We can set that up. This is a grab by pressing the button. So let's actually see if this works. Okay, so let's look at the flow again. So we are pressing the right mouse button. We're seeing, does the player have the the cube in his hand? If they do have the cube in the hand, then we let go of the cube, which is this logic down here, right? Which is release the component, say we're not holding the cube anymore, reset the response channels of the physics actor, and then do some of this behavior stuff to make sure it behaves. If the right mouse button is pressed, they have the cube, they do not have the cube, sorry. Then we say, okay, grab the cube, which is this logic right here. So we first see, are they close enough to the object? If they are, check to see if the object is the cube. If it is the cube, then set the cube value and set the physics handle and say, yes, the player is grabbing the cube. Awesome. And then, because we're checking every single frame where the grab handle is, we're saying, put the cube literally right there in front of the player's face. That is a lot to take in, but let's see if it works. All right. This is for the big money. We're going to go up to this. Actually, we'll right click and you can see I am too far away and I got some errors. That's okay. We'll figure out what's why it's complaining. But if I'm close enough, now the cube is in my hands. And if I'm not close enough, or if I right click again, it lets go of it. So now I can take it over here. Boop. And you can see there's already a bug, but it works. Yay. And that bug is so if I take this, you can see now the door no longer opens. But if I set the cube down, you can see that it's complaining, it's giving me the red state, even though the cube is in the area. And then when I leave and come back in, then it gives me the green state. So it's a bug we'll have to fix on Tuesday. All right, so let's see. It's giving me some errors. What is errors? Trying to read property, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So we can fix this. So this is just saying, hey, I can't find the companion cube, right? It says that access none, trying to read property companion cube. I can't find it. So that's an easy fix. We will go to our event graph. We will go to our release companion cube. And right here where it's saying the companion cube, it can't find it. What we'll do is we'll say, should never start. Oh, it's starting as true. Okay, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. So is player grabbing companion cube? I have it set to true, and it should not be true. It should be false. Now I should never get that error again. Let's see. Yeah, no more errors. Perfect. Okay. So let's change it from toggle, where I just press the button and then I'm checking, to actually holding. So what we can do now is, instead of having this, we're going to go, are they pressing the button? If they are, then they grab the companion cube. And did they let go of the button? Then they're no longer grabbing the companion cube. It's just that simple, that much of a change. And now it's a press and hold instead of just a press the button. So we'll go over here, and you can see now, as long as I'm holding the button down, that it does what it's supposed to do. And if I let go of the button. So it depends on how you want to build your game. The other thing we need to do is turn off that laser beam stuff. So under the grab companion cube custom event, we have this line trace for objects, draw, debug. We're going to change that back to none. We don't need to see the laser beams anymore. And now we are good. There's, like I said, we have some bugs. The first bug is going to be the platform. So we need to think about how we're going to do the platform, because, right now it's saying, as soon as I get close, it's to say, go get the companion cube, but I have the companion cube in my hand. I bring it over here, it's still saying that. So we need to work on that. We'll have to fix that. That's not too hard of a problem. That's going to be our biggest one, though. And then the other problem is if I have the companion cube and I walk into the platform, it needs to say, place the companion cube on the platform. And then when I have the companion cube on the platform, then it can say this, you did it, you placed it, good job. And maybe I can also lock the companion cube down, like, oh, you can't pick it up anymore, it's down. Or we can leave the logic how it is, it's fine. It's not really a game breaking bug. But we'll do all that on Tuesday. Let's have some fun. So we're gonna go to this companion cube, the companion cube blueprint. And remember, I told you about this lock rotations and all this. So let's uncheck all those. Just uncheck all of them and hit play. And now let's have some fun. So now we can drag it like this, and you can see that I'm apparently a great magician who can spin the cube all over the place. And then if I let it go, that time it didn't blow up, but there's plenty of times when it can. And if I do like this, there you go. So maybe that's what you want. Maybe you do want it to be that way, but probably not. Another thing we can do too is we can do like some Jedi mind trick stuff. So we can go to our first person character and go to our grab handle, and we can move that grab handle out in front of us like this to give the illusion of, like, you're a Jedi mind, you got that Jedi stuff, like, oh, I'm too far. There we go. Right. Haha. Luke, use the Force. But once you're done playing, go back and lock these back down. And if you want, you can also lock the X and the Z, and then put the grab handle back to a better position, and then compile and save. And the reason you lock down that X and Z, oh, not the Z. I was going to show you guys. I know why I locked the Z, and it's because I was going to show you the how it's done in like Skyrim, where you push things around, and Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. All right, so not the Z value, but the X. And the reason you do that is so it looks like you're like moving it. See, like it's sliding across like this. You can't move it. You can't move it any direction except for the Y. Kind of different, right? And then if I set the object down completely, it's going to be just like in Legend of Zelda. So if I go and I lock down the Z value, we hit play here. And now in like Legend of Zelda, you grab a block and then you move it around. That's what I'm doing, right? Doesn't always work because it's a physics actor and it doesn't behave. And then you can still uncheck the X if you want, so that you can move it both in left and right. So now I can move it this way, and I can move it this way, pushing it, and so on. All right, oops, Command Cube. But in the end, just leave those unlocked, those locked positions, just leave them unlocked. And make sure that your grab handle is in a good place. And then when you're done, save everything if you haven't already. So File, Save All. And then go have a good weekend. And on Tuesday, we will do some bug fixes, maybe some polish. Maybe we'll add a material to our companion cube so it has like a heart or whatever. And we can do other things. But oh, and we need to also add in our door. So we haven't done that yet. So we do have a door, but it's not here yet. So we'll have to build a some geometry, and I'll show you how to do that. And cut a hole in the geometry like this, which is pretty simple. Boom, hole in the geometry for your door. But anyway, we'll do all that on Tuesday. You guys have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys then.
All right, you too.
Bye, guys.